Hello and welcome to Hluboká's solo exhibition. My name is Jane Neal and I must say it feels very strange to be welcoming you to a show that I've sadly not been able to attend in person because of COVID. Happily though, thanks to the wonders of modern technology, I've still been able to communicate with the artist and his gallery, write my essay and now speak to you too. Some of you may already know of my long-held interest in Czech art. For those of you who aren't so familiar, to keep things brief, I discovered over 15 years ago, while visiting the Prague Biennale as a young arts journalist, that the region had produced a number of particularly gifted figurative painters. Since this time, I have continued to work with a number of Czech artists, now including Hlubomír. I titled my text on Hlubomír, Riddles and Retribution, largely because the artist's work is moving, yet perplexing, and there appears to be a theme of punishment running throughout, be that the punishment of others or the berating of the self. You will see this yourself as you walk around. Hlubomír's work is not an easy on the eye affair, neither is it so easily appreciated. In fact, it's not easy at all, and this I feel is very much the point and where we should begin. The history of art is structured around schools and movements, but it is also full of figures who stood apart from their peers and refused to conform, either to the dictates of the academy or to societal mores and expectations. Without these distinctive characters and their refusal to bend to the systems or social conventions of the day, the story of art would be far less colourful, remarkable or interesting. Be they mavericks, visionaries or simply dogged in the pursuit of their practice, the singular visions of these artists sets them apart as key figures in art history. Hlubomír is one such artist, and it is one reason why we should consider him important for the Czech scene and for the story of Czech painting. The artist has developed an idiosyncratic voice that distinguishes him from his peers. Of course, there are still some commonalities, shared references that come from existing within the same period of time, the influence of respected contemporary artists and figures from the past, and the legacy of Tybalt's time spent at art school in Germany, all of which help us find links with other European painters working today. Overall though, Tybalt sits slightly aside. There is something in his style of painting and vivid clashing colour palette that reminds us of the artists of the early 20th century. One thinks of the Fauves, the Futurists and de Blaureiter, but there is perhaps another reason for the strongly narrative element in Hlubomír's practice. In addition to his artistic work, he is also a writer, a lyricist for the band WWW. From the inception of his career, again refusing to take the easy route, Hlubomír chose to work in two concurrent but different ways. On the one hand, exploring the geometric machine in his paintings, drawings, and, early on, his sculptures. On the other, as a figurative painter. You will notice the clear division in his works as you progress through the show. It wasn't only the splitting of the self that wasn't easy, it was also the subject matter. The animals and characters that people Hlubomír's paintings. The hanging cats, Pinocchios, strange twin and triplet boys and girls clutching giant eyeballs or faceless because they're enshrined by their own wind-whipping hair, remind us of characters from dark fairy tales. We also think of cloning, the notion of the doppelganger, and the frailties as well as the cruelties associated with the human condition. Hence the rather tragic tin men balancing on glass surfaces but weighted down with watering cans, or children apparently gouging out their own eyes. Hlubomír clearly intends to challenge us, shake us up from our reveries and our culture that is so obsessed with beauty and shallow surface perfection. He wants to go deeper and take us with him. He is bold in practice, bold in colour as well as confrontational in approach, and his subject matter and choice of palette support each other and serve each other well. As we walk through the exhibition, we can see that there is a strongly theatrical quality to much of Hlubomír's work, as well as a sense of monumentality. We will not find many small details though. For the artist, this is too much of a risk for opening the door to sentimentality or impressionism. Hlubomír remains committed to engendering a sense of discomfort in all of us, as well as to piquing our interests and assaulting our senses. He is an idiosyncratic purveyor of riddles, a witness to the human desire for retribution, and a painter of note. Enjoy the show.